Grandmaster Amin Ra here, coming to you again from Mombasa, Kenya, in East Africa, soon to be one of the biggest African communities on the continent. And we're here again to take on the continued effort into the second level of Black consciousness. The first level is to be awake, and the second level is to make a move. And that move is to modern Africa. Now I'm coming to you from the house today. So if you hear anything in the background or the kids are going to start cracking jokes and, just forgive it already from there. Let's hope that the channel gives us a clear network all the way through. I've been lucky the last few times, although the other day was really bad when I was on the Tigress's show. And I think we might just have to get that new phone soon, because my old baby she's good. My Nokia 530 is good, but everybody's telling me she's out of date. So Phil's telling me it's out of date. Dynas is telling me out of date. Oh shit, these guys are all saying the phone is. But I'm telling you, the phone only works really well, except when I'm live chat. So I don't know. I've used other devices and it's still kind of, sometimes the line still goes up and down. But anyway, today's show is about getting your mind right for your African trip. Okay, now some of you are saying you're not thinking about going to Africa anytime. This one is still a good show for you, because whether you know it or not, all the decisions you make are dependent upon what you know, or what you've been exposed to. And today I want to bring this home. I'm going to attempt to bring this understanding home so that you'll be having a clear understanding of the decisions you make are not your own decisions in a lot of cases. I'm talking to Black people now. And when I talk to Black people in the United States, I'm thinking, of a particular type of Black person. Now, I've been on this show before and I discussed this issue, and shoot, I lose people. When I start talking about this topic, people simply turn off. Chat line can go silent. Comment section is empty because people don't know how to handle it. And I'm saying that if we're going to even talk about having such a great life change as moving out of the country you was born in, then you really have to take some soul searching. Somewhere is going to have to come out on convincing yourself mentally why moving to modern Africa at this time is a option that you should definitely take seriously. Now, I know that the majority of you, whoever can watch this show, is not going to be thinking about moving to Africa soon. And I know a lot of you are not privy to the information that I have, being in the United States and being blanketed by Western mass media propaganda. Whether it tells you lies or whether it fills the airways with other less pertinent information, or that that they use to guide your attention. So the first thing I want to do is define the two groups that today's African American is finding themselves having to choose. In the civil rights, you had to be the Malcolm X or you was Martin Luther King. In the earlier days before that, you were either a Garveyite or you were what was his name? Damn. Yeah, who was that guy? W.D.B. Du Bois. So you D.D. Du Bois. So W.E.B. Du Bois. You had to choose. One was like a mild following of the other. Now, I've been doing history for a long time, reading over history, going through the hundreds of speeches. I don't think there's one speech from Malcolm X or Martin Luther King that I haven't listened to. I used to wash dishes over Martin Luther King's sermon when I was a young teenager, living with my sister when I was in my last years of high school after my mom passed away. And I used to wash dishes and turn on the radio and listen to, at that time, this radio station gave Martin Luther King speeches, and he was sermons, not speeches. And, they were really interesting. But at that time, I wasn't conscious that there was really a Malcolm X, because those days, Malcolm X wasn't really, we were not exposed to Malcolm X. So this is the thing. Hey, I got to use my glasses when I use this laptop. I wanted to use the bigger computer, but I can't, so I have to use this one. Mia Z, hey, what's up? So, I was I was exposed to a lot of Martin Luther King back in the day. But so there you had, in those days, it was easier for the media to give you, because the basic government and white people basically controlled all of the media, so they could just push Malcolm X out, push Marcus Garvey out, and then feed us all of the leaders that they wanted to put in place. But it's only now that we can just at the top of a key, we can find out and listen to a lot of what Malcolm X was talking. And I believe that a lot of people today, in your busy world, you really haven't went in depth into Malcolm. And, you hear about him, you hear a couple of his speeches, but you really haven't taken the time to really absorb what he was saying and realizing that it was saying this back in the 60s, and then seeing how prevalent that is to today, what he was saying back then. He was clearly ahead of his time, Malcolm X, and he was clearly a bold person to come out and speak out like that. Now, I don't really consider myself like a bold person, but I'm 61, and I don't think that they can. And there's no 40-year-old man, 35-year-old man that can whoop my ass. You see, so because I got skills, and I can't show you my skills on the screen because the camera can't keep up. Now, move my fist. See if you can you see it? Can you see it? That's how fast I am, and my feet are just as fast. So even at 61, there's no way I could be looking at somebody and say like, okay, I fear them, because the average person is not going to have a chance. I know. I think I'm in the 1 percentile of fighting people on the planet. So there was a time when I felt like I couldn't be defeated at all. So I had no fear of speaking out. There's no root fear like, oh, somebody's gonna yell at me and beat me up. I love that when somebody comes at me like that, because hopefully one day they might make a mistake and we can get down to the basic root physical communication, and I feel like I would win. So speaking out, I have no real issue with it, and it doesn't affect me one way or the other. I'm not one of these bloggers that are out there looking for views, and they come off with, okay, what am I going to say that's going to make me have more, more views, more subscribers? I don't think like that. What I think about is getting out the information, and boom, let the chips fly where they may. But I know that the chips are going to end up inevitably. You need to have an African plan, and you need to move. You need to start looking at your life and get it changed towards Africa, because America has had her chance, and she has failed miserably when it comes to Black people in America. So here we go, because I'm going to give it let out today. Blessing to you with your family. I'm jealous. You say, hey, there was a time when I didn't have family, broken families. So yeah, you can be jealous, because and let me tell you, if you ain't 50, 60, I'm in good health. So I could have, when I failed in building my family, I was able to recreate it and do it again. So I got with my woman when I was 50, and still doing it today. Marcus Garvey was saying it before Malcolm. Yeah, of course, Elijah would go to see Garvey when he was young. Elijah Muhammad was a lieutenant in the Marcus Garvey movement. So some people don't know that. I feel like everybody knows these things, but then constantly I'm here and I'm realizing people don't know this. And then if I'm teaching my son and I tell my son something, then I go back like a month later after I've told him, and then it's like he forgot. So I said I have to repeat the thing over and over. It's like when I was telling him, I found him reading some spiritual books. He was saying he was going to look about being in spiritual. He's 18 years, and I'm like, you're going down the wrong path. What you want is psychology books. You want to know how the mind works. And then I reminded him about the story I told him from the Bible, saying, wherever there are two of you speaking in my name, whatever you agree upon, it'll come true. And I was telling him the Bible was not talking about two people. It was talking about the subconscious mind and the conscious mind. So wherever the subconscious mind and conscious mind agree, then that thing is going to come into fruition. And many of the successful people out there will tell you this is what goes on, but that's a little bit later, deeper. And I mean, my son was like, "Oh, Dad, I don't remember telling me that." Like, man, so I have to repeat. So, I'll be doing that, but I feel like I'm repeating myself, even though I'm a teacher by profession, and then I'm always having to repeat the same thing. And sometimes when it comes to Black conscious information, I feel like once is enough. Your mind should wake up, but that's not the case. I'm 32, got time for family. You got lots of time. You're 32. You are now. I'm blessed that you're 32. So, yeah, just depends on where you're gonna raise your family. You're gonna raise them in the U.S. or you're gonna do the necessary. You know what I mean? My goodness, man. Do you know you're 32-year-old? You can come here, get you an African woman, give birth, and that kid could become president of the country, and nobody blink twice. Just say your dad was from America. If you're from America. So, wow. Okay, that's good. Yeah, I don't want to get on these points. Yeah, so we have to put a definition on this. And I don't know you guys are thinking when I start talking like this. And I felt bad when I talk like this and then people leave. Not because I miss you. It's because here you were looking for proper understanding and some knowledge, and when I give it to you, you reject it. It's like you run from it. Don't run. Absorb that thing. If I'm telling you crap, you're gonna find out it's crap in the long run. But if I'm telling you something that's gonna shake you up, that's how you get out of bed. Nobody tell you, "We get up, honey. Get up. It's time to get." Nobody jumps. You have to shake them. Boy, wake up, huh? And then the person wakes up. So You know, that's what happens when I give out information here. So let's get right to this thing. So, I mean, what are you talking about? I'm talking about you have to get your mind right. You ain't going nowhere if your mind ain't right. You're gonna try to make excuses. People, you know, we got an African trip coming now. It's got a set date, April 2020. We got people already on board. I got Lesion's doing the work in the US. And as soon as we put it out there, how many people say they want to go? Over 30 people. I'm going. That's a great idea. You see. So other people was excited. I'm like, man, I'm not excited that they say they're gonna go, because for every 15 that say they're gonna go, only one going to go. One thing, black don't have money. And the black that don't have money, that's faking like they rich, is the worst ones that's gonna say, yeah, I'm gonna go, you know, on the trip. So yeah, they ain't heard the price, they ain't heard the itinerary, I'm going, that's not. Now the person that says, I'm gonna give me the details, how much is this thing gonna set me back, how long do I have to go before I have to pay the installments, what other installments, now you see that person is serious. But you got a lot of black folks talking about, yeah, I'll be there, and then that person is not going to be there, because we are like that. See? Morelli, how are you, Molden? There's my man. It doesn't matter how much you tell people, they just don't get it. Dr. Claude said he was doing his work for 60 years, and other races read his book more than blacks. Exactly. You're damn right. And thank you again for the super chat, African super chat, Molden. Thank you, John Lewis. I know you're out there, brother. Thank you for your super chat. Dorian Tate, I can't say enough about the brother. The brother is just consistent. Thank you, brother, for the super chat even today you sent. And Helios Ajiba. You know, I was trying to say your name right. Helios. You're gonna have to send me a voicemail and tell me exactly how to say this name. Ajiba. Thank you for the African super chat to keep this channel pushing on like that. This video is for you guys. So you out here and you're saying, hey, Mr. I got some information that is good, and I'm like, man, I'm gonna give you information today. We're gonna set the record straight. You're either gonna love me or you're gonna hate me, because I'm putting it out there, and I'm opening the door for anybody that wants to debate this movie. And I want you to come and say, GM, bro, you're full of shit. That's nonsense. Say that, because that's what triggers me to give you more details to make you think. And maybe if you got the details, you can tell me, and then I can say, like, oops, I was wrong. Because nobody can give out a lot of information and not be wrong some of the time, It's just that you don't know me, and I'm usually a lot more right than I am wrong. So, yeah, we're going to get that stuff straight. And Dr. Claude Anderson, now he's got his own little channel, because Boyce done abandoned him. And he's trying to do this thing on his own, but how? You see? You longer these people, Boyce Lydell, Dr. Omar, Shakrik Lakrik. I mean, I can go on and on and on. These people have banked their whole thing on the U.S. and look at them. They're all either failing or they are being attacked viciously by their own people. What kind of life is that? Here's the, I mean, Umar Johnson, that dude, he want to open up a school. He not opened up the school. There, people like, until you get the when he get the students, they be like, until you open the doors and start graduating students, then he graduate students until they get jobs. Now, how you gonna have a black conscious person walk into a corporate headquarters and get a job? If you're seriously black conscious, then you're gonna have a name change. Because you ain't gonna be, how can we're gonna talk about that too. How you gonna run around? No, you can't go. How you gonna interact with your employees and you black conscious? You gonna hide the fact? What the hell did you go to Omar school in the first place if you got to hide the fact that you black conscious on the workplace? So job, no. Now you're gonna say how we're gonna make our own business and we're gonna have our own black conscious business. You ain't got no black business gonna survive without with just black people running a business. There's not enough black people in one place to sustain any kind of business to make it into anything serious. And I don't know about you, but when I open up a business, I want to see like the future could be very, very bright. I don't even like, okay, I can only sell 50 apples a day. 50 apples a day, and I'm like, I'm happy. No, I need to 500,000 apples a day. You know what I'm saying? If that's not possible, I'm not going to go be satisfied with 500 apples. That's me. But if you got, like, you know, if Z here is going to have a family one day in Africa, then, you know, he's going to have to think about them 500,000 apples at one point or another when he have his kids running around. Your kids running around and they asking you, Daddy, I need some money. You know, like my kid and I mean, how many times today? About 3 times today. You know, I got 3 girls and a son. And, you know, my son, I got to anticipate when he need money because I don't want him to feel like he got to ask for money. If you get what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying? Because I keep telling him, look, don't worry about money now. Worry about finding out who you are, where you want to go, and get your training in. Money will be there, but if you start worrying about money, then you're gonna have all the problems that money brings you, and all the desires that money can bring upon you. You see, while you were in training at 18 years of age, you don't need all that. So we made that agreement, but my other little kid girls, you know, they, Daddy, I need candy. Daddy, I need this. Daddy, my friend, you know, so, you know, you have to keep money ready for them. So how you going to be, and it don't get small money because it grows as it goes, you know. As they grow, your bill goes up. So you want to be in a place where the money can be, you know, you can see like future growth of making money. And where is that? Is that in the United States? Huh? You're gonna open up a black bookstore in the middle of where? Harlem? Harlem ain't black anymore. You know, Watts? No, and don't even talk about Detroit or in the South. You know, black bookstore gonna survive. So what kind of black business are you talking about? Get what I'm saying? So how Dr. Umar, you know, what the end game is I would love to sit with him, and I have tried to reach him, you know, not on the email but on the messenger, and said, Dr. Umar, what's your end game? After they graduate from your school, what happens then? You know, if you can only graduate 20, 30 people at a time, are you really going to change the face of America? Are they really going to be able to change America, or is America going to change them? You see, I worked in corporate America. I worked in corporate America as a totally unconscious black Negro, and I worked in America as a militant black man. And the militant black man, he can't. You ain't going far. You know what I mean? For the first day, when I came in there with a new name, oh, you think corporate America was on my neck? From then, I got a badge that say I'm in Ra, and they looking at it, they're like, woohoo, you know. Are you from Africa? No, I ain't from Africa. I'm from here. Then they look back. Oh, okay, that's one of them. That's one of them militant, bro. That's one of them Malcolm X guys. You see, or that's one of them Muslim guys. I try to straighten them out really quick. I know I'm no Muslim guy, but yeah. So you got to get your mind right, and you get your mind right. The whole process of that is you got to have a definition of what is the right mindset. Now, in the United States, we got a thing that's growing now. I shouldn't use the word thing. We have a movement that is growing now. This is the movement that I've joined, and that movement has 2 sides. Just like Malcolm and Martin, just like Garvey and Du Bois, there's a new side now. There's a new movement out there. And you can separate blacks now into 2 different categories. And this really says everything. Once you separate them into these 2 different categories, it says everything. It tells you everything about the person that you need to know. Now you have your ADOS guys that are out there, you know, they're trying to get reparations. That shit's never going to happen, but God bless them. But it's just a thing that's going to happen. And I'm so set up nicely here. Let's hope that this thing doesn't work out too badly. And I'm going to have to start talking slow. Mustafa, the Muslim man. Assalamu alaikum, my brother. Welcome to the chat. Hope it stays on. So let me get on through with this. But before I go start again, let's talk about this again. The paper we all love to hate. This is how we help each other in this channel. I appreciate you guys. For you new people to the channel, this is westernunion.com mobile wallet, the phone number and the contact. Make sure you send it to M-Pesa. M-Pesa is very important. That way I can get the money support right now. Even if you start now on Western Union while you're listening to me, we can get that money in the next 5-10 minutes. It comes quickly, and we can give you a shout out right on this show. But we don't have Patreon here, and we don't have Super Chat here, so this is our African Super Chat. So this time, you guys, now let's support the channel. Support me now, because when I get through talking on this show, you're gonna hate me. Some of you are gonna hate me. So send that money in now before Mr. Ross starts getting down on this issue. Assalamu alaikum, my brother. I'm going to support you with the channel. Just waiting to get paid, my brother. Yeah, okay. I know it's month end. I know it's month end for some of you guys when this video came out live, but I'm doing it live. And that's not easy. And then you guys wanted me to do outside videos. You see, I did a video previously outside. We're trying all kind of different things. I think if you look at the beginning, where we were at the beginning to where we are now, you'll see that there's been changes being made. And we're going to continue with that with your support for this channel. So I know some of you guys that are veterans at Super Chat and Patreon, that's how you do those channels. But for this particular group, this is how we're going to support us. Because I'm a bit militant when it comes to dealing with Patreon and giving them all my information and then exposing myself to the IRS. If I go Patreon, then they have to have, they're going to file a 1099 form on me as long as I'm an American. So until I denounce all that and do all that, this is how we have to support the channel, because I don't want to be another Wesley Snipes. Okay? So my income is very low, not enough to have to file an income tax. When they come after my neck, this won't be one way that they can really come for me. Although they can just make up anything and come after me and just ruin me anytime. So you see, someone like me sticking my neck out for you guys should be worth something. Because there are a lot of brothers that probably will never get online and especially brothers that are conscious, and especially brothers that got all of these years like I have. So yeah, support the channel, support me, so that we can continue this. And I feel good today because of the support that you guys have given me so far. And what was that? Young 10 again. I'm on. Okay, great, brother. Good to see you. Now, let's get right down to it before they cut off this video. I think that YouTube slows down the video when you start talking blackness. And I'm going to talk really slow. So, there's a new movement. There's a new definition of black people. Black people today, with this thing about Africa and people having more interest in Africa than ever before, blacks have to make a choice between living in the U.S. and considering themselves American, and wanting to leave the U.S. and considering themselves as African. Now, I'm going to say it. The definitions that Malcolm X gave are too clear for words. I feel unworthy to even change the definition that he gave, because it was so beautiful. And actually, he was not the one who brought up these terms. He pulled these terms from a speech he heard from a speaker that spoke before him when he started talking about the House Negro and the Field Negro. And Malcolm even said he didn't even call them House Negroes. He called them House Niggas. And that was his term. But he said the speaker that spoke before him was saying House Negro and Field Negro. And for some of you that don't understand, I want to explain it to you, the difference between a House Negro and a Field Negro. The House Negro is banking that America is going to somehow love black people, give us appreciation, and that's where the ADOS movement falls in. They say like America going to take care of us. When you talk about the United States to a House Negro, he's going to say, how can we find a better place than where we are now? The white man treats us better than where even Africans or even the Chinese. You see, these people, they believe that the United States is their best bet. They believe that whatever the case we have in America, however bad the weather is, however bad the mistreatment is not as bad as what we would get if we went into Africa. They believe that the whole set of circumstances that go in Africa are going to be 10 times worse than what they have in the United States. Now, the problem with the House Negro that thinks like this is he's thinking present term. Okay, give you a little lesson in martial arts. Your mind can only be in one of three places at one time. It is either in the past, it is either in the future, or it is focused on the present. And when the mind is threatened, it bounces back between past and future. But the House Negro is really concentrating on what is happening now. What is happening now is determining his outlook is of the future. And he's saying that in his mind, he sees like what life he has in the United States is better than anywhere else. Now, the question is, what makes this House Negro believe that where he is now is better than anywhere else in the world? What makes him think like he's in the best place? U.S. the best. He believes that because he has been told over and over again throughout his life that America is the best place in the world. He's heard the president of the United States say it, must be true. He heard the governor say it, must be true. He's seen it played out in the Olympics, must be true. He hears it saying in the international games or any international things. America's got the best athletes. America got the best technology. America got the best. And he can even give you a number of reasons why he thinks America is better. He doesn't understand that all this is propaganda. Not to say that we're not good here and there, but the overall fact of the matter is his understanding of America being the best is not because all the things that he's going to tell you, like America did this and America did that. No, it is the propaganda that is also filtered inside there that puts in his mind that Africa is a terrible place. Europe is America is controlling Europe. This place, if you go to South America, this is going to be poverty. You see, if you go to Africa, it's going to be poverty. It's going to be like this. It is the negative propaganda that feeds his understanding that America is bad. Not that show that America athletes are the greatest, or technology is the king and military wise the American. Not that. It's because he's been also given propaganda to say that African militaries are not as powerful as where he's at. Africa's money is not as strong as the money in America. So this works on the subconscious mind. This House Negro, when he says, how can you leave America? It's the greatest, and we got it best here. All this has been sent into his subconscious mind through radio, media, any kind of medium of social media, over and over again. It's the government's job to keep filling out this information to say that we are great. It's the same with Britain. When you go to Britain and you start listening to British radio, they're going to talk about the bad about the French. They're going to talk about the bad about Germany. Yeah, they'll talk about Germany. And then make it seem like that the British are in the best position. Well, you and I know now, if you can, they're in the worst position now. They're in real big trouble right now. But that is the concept that they put into the people's mind. The BBC is notorious for putting down other countries and showing you the dirty side of every other country, but they won't show you the dirtiness that's within Britain and in London in particular. You see, they may show it to you for day one, but they won't put documentaries on it. They, like they put documentaries on Africa showing you like horrible things, and they start off really nice. Let's talk about the children of Africa. Here they are playing. And the next thing you know, here they are suffering and playing in the dirt. They have no toys. Oh, they don't, And then, you find yourself watching this documentary, and what is your subconscious mind saying? Man, I never raised my child and that. Wow. You see? So the documentary has now done its job. You have now been acclimated into it. This is the House Negro. You got to make a choice as a black person today. Either you are a House Negro or you are a field Negro. Either you believe that your future is best served in the United States, or you're among the growing number of African Americans that are saying, let me get the hell out of here. Let me get the hell out of here. Now, I've told you about the House Negro. Let's talk about the field Negro. Now, the field Negro is exposed to, and the field Negro and the House Negro is just representing the United States. Please don't be offended when I say the word Negro. Malcolm X and Martin Luther King both considered us as Negroes. It's not a term of contempt. I'm not saying nigger. I'm saying Negroes. Okay? Although the word Negro comes from the Latin derivative necrosis, which means dead body, but that's a different thing altogether. We'll talk about that later. So when I say Negro, I'm not saying it in contempt forms. I'm saying it, as a way that gives homage to Malcolm, who eloquently put these things into perspective. And I'm going to put the link of his Negro speech in the comment section at the end of this quick video. And when I do that, I want you guys to remember and remind you, let's support this channel. When you get paid. And, $10, $20, that's it. Most people are $10 to $20. That's good. All right. I'm not asking for a lot of money, but that makes me, when you send money, that really makes me like, wow, these people are serious. And I spend a portion of my day, putting the notes together and come out and giving you guys the 42 years of knowledge that I gained since I became Black conscious. I think it's 40. Is that 42 or 32? No, it's got to be 42. 1987. Yes. So let's talk about the field Negro. Lance Kelly, hey, Legan 125, what's up, man? Damn, thank you guys for joining us. African Tigress, yes, my sister. So you met African superstar. Yes, she's a toughie. And we have the Evelyn. Oh yeah, Evelyn. We have to acknowledge that no matter what we say or do, some of us will not make the point to the promised land. I'm going to touch on that, Evelyn. I'm going to touch on that. Larry J. Blige, London is an expensive slum. Yeah, people don't even talk about how dirty London is. Because I have some Kenyan friends, they went there and they said some of them apartment buildings, they just don't take baths. They just don't, once a week maybe. White people are not the cleanest people in the world when you go up north into those areas. Of course, it was the black men. What's the name of those people? Gosh, today, it's evening time for me. Now it escapes me because I want to say Muslims. That taught them how to bathe. So now I want to say Maasai. So it's not Maasai. Somebody gonna help me. That taught them the Moors. The Moors taught them how to bathe because they was not bathing. Even when they went to America, uh, they were documented as never taking a bath. They don't want to take off those clothes in that cold wet and bathe in cold water. So because they didn't have hot water, and it's very cold at night when you ever try to take a bath with cold water at night when it's cold. You just say, I'll skip it. So I don't really blame white people for that. But anyway, yeah, London can be stinky like that. So they don't talk about that part. They just put on the movies that they're so clean, that they're always taking showers, and that's not necessarily the case. But I want to talk on this, acknowledge that we don't, not many of us. So when I'm talking about the field Negro, I want, like Evelyn is talking about, I want you to know, Evelyn, that most of blacks in America in the slavery days were field Negroes. They were always wanting to figure out how to get away. It was only the blacks in the big house. Those house Negroes living in the big house, they were few in number. But they stayed close to the master, and they was always trying to find ways to keep the field Negro in check. But the majority of blacks were field Negroes. They were always wanting to get away. You see, and it's always been the case. Most of us have been field Negroes. So now here we jump up in 2019. I don't know where the hell we went. What happened to all those numbers of field Negroes were saying like, "Hey, America is bullshit," because they're just not saying that. I don't know if it's Homeland Security or what is it, or you can't get your job. They can find you out on Facebook, so you really can't talk like that. Otherwise, you might lose your job. Or most of us depend on whites for companies, so and the government. So really, how can you really talk that blackness and when you get your paycheck from the government? I understand that the majority of blacks work for some sort of government. Most of us have jobs. The vast majority of us. So how can we really sit around America and talk shit about America when we got when we're working for them? It's like making ourselves even look hypocritical. So here we are. I don't have that constraint. So I can say what I think a lot of people are thinking. And so it comes down to whether you want to have an African plan or not. It's really going to come down to what the basic thing is going to be: economics. And I told you, racism is just economics. They are starving us and making sure that we have as little much money as possible to get that plane ticket to travel to Africa, to even think about that leaving. And this is how the America is playing us. Oh, they're not going to give us props for building America. No. They're not going to give us reparation money for building America. No. They're not even going to give us a lot of the credit for what we did, being the first one to die in the defense of America. I think is it Benjamin Banneker? I don't know. My thing on that. Who that Crispus Attucks? I don't know. One of those guys. First one to be killed in Boston was first one was a black person. So here we did all that, and instead of talking about our history, black people's history, and putting it in the history books in the United States, oh no. We got states now that's making it mandatory that we're going to talk history about the LGBT movement. We're going to talk about the gays in history, but you're going to falsify all that information and keep it out of the black people's contribution out of history. So today, if you live in some 4 states in America, you got your textbooks is going to have talking about gays in the military, gays who did this and gays who did that. And you say, okay, damn, let them tell their story. But you see, in order for them to tell you the history of gays in America, they got to first define what a gay is to your elementary school child. You see? And so this is a clear definition between House Negro and Field Negro. Now, the House Negro, he's going to make excuses and reasons on why it's okay for his kid to learn about gayism in the schools. When you know that ain't African, when you know that ain't right. It's not right, not because gays shouldn't be talked about or they should be abused or they should, they should be hidden. It's not right because they didn't do the same thing to the same degree to us as black people in the United States. So here we are being pushed aside for gays. Gays gonna get all the history. It's the same back in the day when they started talking about affirmations and affirmative action. They added women, they added gays, they added Mexicans, and so blacks they had to move to the side and share. Instead, when the whole thing was developed for us, it wasn't affirmative action. Wasn't for Mexicans. It wasn't for women. It wasn't for gays. But at the end of the day, they tricked us out of almost 80% of that money. Joking. The house slave always informs on the field slave. Yes. I want to know where the field slaves are. I want to know where the field Negroes are in America. Are we still there? If you're on my channel, then you're at the right place. Now, if you're a house Negro and you're trying to find ways that you can see, how can I shut this guy down so that my master can be proud of me? I'm too far away from you. I'm already here. I done already escaped. You get what I'm saying? So unless you slow this channel down, then you just gotta sit back or change the channel. But for those people that got some field Negro in them, I know the majority of us have it inside us. It's just that we've been in America for so long, and America has tricked us for so long that we can't get the feeling for that. We've been pushed down. But I'm telling you, there's a place. And that place is a beautiful place. And that place is waiting for you. And that place is in modern Africa. And she's saying that she's so powerful with a GDP of upwards of 6 and 7% for the last 10 years, while America's GDP has never really risen above 2%. She's saying, I'm more powerful than the United States. I can take care of you better than you getting taken care of in the United States without racism, without economic oppression. That's what modern Africa is saying to us today. So this House Negro that was saying all this, America's best place, and where can you find this place? You can damn sure know it's in Africa today. Because 10 out of 10 people that come here all say the same thing. I never knew it was like this. It's beautiful. I want to return. The latest person to say this is my instructor, who I never thought would say it. My instructor, Steve Muhammad, the great black martial artist that for the Black Karate Federation had more black belt champions than any other instructor in the United States. I trained with him for 10 years. I never thought he would talk about Africa. Do you know the man sent me a message on Messenger? And when I was like, oh, Mr. Muhammad wants to talk to me, because he too many people know him, and I'm like, why are you calling me? So I called him on the phone and he tell me, I want to come to Africa. I'm like, what? I was shocked. Then he's like, I want to die in Africa. I'm like, hello, this is not Mr. Muhammad. This is an imposter. But so if Mr. Muhammad is finally at 85 years of age saying, look, I want to die in Africa, then that's telling me, and it should be telling you something also, that she's waiting for you. The motherland is here and she's waiting for you. And some of you are sick of me talking about it, but just like I told you, you got to think. You got to be told something over and over again. You got to be repeated over and over before it sinks into your subconscious mind and starts to absorb in there, where you've been bombarded with so much propaganda. You have propaganda inside your subconscious mind that's so deep in the rooted of how they have messed you up with negative things about Africa that you don't even realize it. You don't even realize it. Case in point. So the other day there was a ship in the harbor of Los Angeles. And it announced that we're giving a free ride for every black person that want to go to Africa. Right? Yeah, so this is a story. Allegorical. But anyway, so the ship put out this paper, and a lot of blacks was like, what? They said, yeah, they're leaving on the 3rd of the month. So all these blacks pack all their bags, and our ship is going to Africa. Let's go. Now, I don't have to pay, and I can just get, put all my things on the ship and be land in Africa, and I'm gonna make my way from there. So on the 3rd of the month, they all ran down to the port, looked at the ship, and the name of the ship was the Titanic. And what do you think those black people did? They went like, whoa, hey, wait a minute now, whoa. They hesitated. They hesitated on getting on the ship because the ship was the Titanic. They said the Titanic #2. And I'm saying this is how propaganda works on the mind. It make you hesitate. You see? So you should have been here, but you keep on pushing it back because propaganda is making you hesitate. It's going to take some family member to be shot, or a family member to be caught up in the prison system, or a family member to be sick with cancer, AIDS, Ebola, before you get the point that you should have been long since left. See, Ima Z is 32 years of age. My goodness, that guy is becoming conscious now. He is so damn lucky that age is the best time to come. S. Marco. Thank you, brother, for that. Brandon Pierce. Africa is the future. The house slaves will never see it. I will be back in Kenya next month. All right. You could be, African superstars here. Hooked her up with African Tigress, and they met. They did a video. I put the video in our Black Man's Guide post. Let me put that link because I want you guys all to be a part of the Black Man's Guide, and I'm gonna have to copy paste it. Yeah. So not to get off point and then waste people's time. I like my shows to be on point, and today's show is about getting your mind right. And you got two choices. You have to sit down and decide: are you a house Negro or are you a field Negro? And then once you decide, then you'll act accordingly. If you're gonna see like don't be lying to yourself saying you're a field Negro when you don't got a house and you got a car. No, you just bought a brand new car. You just bought something worth a lot of money, new sound system in your house. You done bought a new big screen TV. You sitting in you a house Negro. If you ain't cleaning up your debt, you a house Negro and loving it. You see? That's what I'm saying. You got to check with your subconscious mind. Because if you thinking that, man, I'm all for it. I'm coming in next month. Okay, fine. Till I see you. I'm a realist. Okay? My son does something. I asked my son, what am I? And he's like, Daddy, you're an eligible man. He's telling me all these things. I said, no, man, I'm not all of that. My knowledge is about like this. I can't make it a little smaller. That's how much knowledge I have. You know what I'm saying? I ain't the one that they like. I'm a he sees me talk all the time, and he thinks I'm an intelligent man. But you see, hey, I like a grain of sand. There's too much knowledge out there. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm always going for it. I'm always going to hunt for knowledge because it's too much to grasp. Just when you think you got it all figured out, wow, somebody else comes up with something that blows your mind. And at the end of this video, I'm gonna blow some people's mind. So stay tuned. Anyway, yeah. How do you donate to me? Okay, this is how you donate, my people. House Negroes need not apply unless you're a field Negro. That's when you come on here and we chopping up because I want this to be we at war. We at war with the House Negro. Because he damn sure gonna be trying to pull your leg to keep you down here. Either it's gonna be mentally, spiritually, he gonna be suggestively telling you things that's why are you gonna go to Africa, man? Hey, got two Brazil. We can go get them Brazilian women over there, man, chop it up and hang out like with Snoop Doggy Dogg. What did that come to right now? That ain't your country. White people are ruling there. That's like leaving America and going to America number one, number two. Slavery was brought to a fine art in the South America. You might have been considered yourself a bit lucky if you was in North America. But them Brazilian slaves, Christopher Columbus, he wore them Aztecs out. That's why you got Indians in North America today. Those the natives in that South America ran up to the north to get away from slavery in South America. Yes. Now, if you're talking about everything you pay for is paid for, then you got assets, because the house is a liability if it ain't paid for. Then you have to come into Africa and then make that change. Now, if you're gonna have children, then that shit, you got money, you're gonna have children here. This is like, there ain't no self-respecting African woman gonna let you walk around like that. The moment you go out and buy something, they're gonna be on your ass. They're gonna come out the woodwork. It's a natural thing. You're gonna lay down in the bed in the night in Africa alone. How? You understand what I'm saying? Your mind is going to tell you, woman, come. You're going to get a knock on the door in the middle of the night. It's going to be an African woman like, I don't know why I'm here. Your mind going to tell you, just come in, and shoot. But anyway, let me not drift off. So, yeah. If you're going to be a field Negro, be a field Negro. But don't try to turn yourself... Don't just try to tell yourself you're a field Negro. That ain't it, man. Your actions are what constitutes who you are. It's your actions. If anybody seen my last video talking about Amin Ra, they say Amin Ra didn't do this and that, and I said, I got pictures. They just got statements. Statements don't work. You're going to have to put in the seriousness of actions. And that's going to be very difficult to do. That's very difficult to do in the United States. I'm telling you. I know. It took me 10 years to do it, to make my trip. So don't get yourself upset if you ain't there in 1 year or 2 years. You got to redo it. You fighting a mental block in the back of your mind here. That subconscious mind gonna put all kind of obstacles in your way, and you got to learn how to differentiate between the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. So you got to look at, and I have to say this: if you're watching the news, you need to turn that news off. You should not watch regular news on TV. That thing is dangerous because it affects the conscious mind. Yeah, hon. I don't know. My woman has come. I don't want to turn the camera on her because she'll be mad. But anyway, yeah. So yeah, you can't watch it. CNN, NBC, Fox News. It's dangerous for you to even let that information go into your eyeballs, because it's not designed for any other reason except to keep you in the United States. Why do you think that shit is free? You paying for Netflix, but you gonna get news for free? Come on, man. That stuff ain't free. They got a purpose behind all of that. And if you're a field Negro, you should know that stuff is just making you sit at the house. It's gonna make you hesitate from getting on that boat. You're gonna turn on the news and they're gonna be like, yeah, the Titanic's #2 had trouble, hit another iceberg, but we don't know the details. Stay tuned at 11 o'clock. Now you see, they done put that shit in your mind. And now what you gonna think for between 9 o'clock p.m., 9 p.m. and 11 p.m., what you think your subconscious mind gonna be doing? It's gonna be reeking over what happened to the first one, and you'll be like, I never get on that shit. It's just like that. That's how the subconscious mind works. Your brain is designed to protect the body. It's now martial arts again. Your brain is designed to protect the body. Go to the edge of a cliff and try to jump off that cliff. And you see your body, you be trying to push your body, and your mind is like, hell no. Because the mind is designed to protect the body. And sometimes the brain does a very good job, and you become fat and overweight and lazy. And the brain is just doing its job. But it's your self-discipline that makes you use your common sense and this self-discipline to help you override that when it needs to be overridden. Why? Because we're not product of this we're not a product of this planet. Oh, Mr. Ryder did it now. Now he done said he's now that guy's crazy. He's saying we aliens from a different planet. Well, you see now, when you really break down to the level of understanding that I have gone through, then you come to realize these things. Now there are, and I'm about to close off of this now because we just hit 1 hour. Yeah. The government. Oh, when I say the word government, then that make the line hook. Maybe that's it. Shouldn't say word government. But yeah, it's never been for us. 400 years, you can see that. If you just take your time through history, you can come and see that this is very true. And it's only, every field Negro had a choice to be a house Negro. Every field Negro had a choice to be a house Negro. But it's because they researched properly and in their minds decided that they were going to resist the nonsense and the lies that made them say, I'm going to be a field Negro. And you got to be a bit militant to be a field Negro. And that's why I'm saying this channel is for field Negroes. Hello? Yes. House Negroes can come here if you're trying to figure out, if you're sitting on the fence, this is the channel for you. So I said the government lies to us. And I wanted to end this video with a classic point for us to argue about and talk about later. So this is Amin Ra's theory of evolution. Now the theory of evolution, that one where we came from monkeys. And we know that that's just the what? That's just a theory. And so mine is also a theory from the research that I've done. I want to show you how deep this is. Because black people, we need a theory. The region is not going to help us. Then we need to have some sort of something we can hold on to and understand that goes beyond being slaves for the white man, because we're much more than that. So we said we had a lifestyle in Africa before the white man came, and the white man was the last one to be developed, as they say. Well, how does all that work out? So I'm gonna just take you on a little bit of road here, and Tucker, how are you, man? Abdallah, Tucker, how are you? You're late, but you're never too late. This is your penalty. Go in the corner and then type this in, and we'll forgive you for being late. In my martial art class, if you come late, you gotta do 10 push-ups. So you gotta go in the corner. 1, 2, sir, 3, sir. No, anyway. So this is my theory. And like I said, I may lose people, but let's discuss it. And the next time we meet in the comment section, let's discuss it. Because I'm always in the comment section for you people. The next day, like it's late, I go to sleep. Then 8 hours from now, I wake up, and then I'm all in the comment section, answering every comment. So this is my theory of evolution, and you need to kind of get this in your mind so you can kind of see not what I'm saying is necessarily the truth, which I think it is the truth, but that you can see that there is an alternative, and there are many alternatives to the propaganda that we've been given. Now, if your mind is able to absorb and think for itself, you'll listen to what I'm saying, and then your mind will work. But if your mind is a rejectable mind, you'll reject before I even understand what I'm saying, and that way we can have that comment, run that in the comments. We are not of this planet. I'm in Ra's theory. We are not of this planet. Originally, we come from a different planet. Okay, not us particularly. We didn't. Okay, I shouldn't say we came from a different planet. No. The people that created us came from another planet. And these people came from another planet. They were giants. Now, you help me if somebody's heard this before. They were like at least 15 feet tall. And I wanted to do an edited version of this video, and I have the pictures to show back me up. But I think I'll do that if people take this seriously. And so they landed on this planet because their planet was being destroyed. They ruined the ozone level in their planet, and they needed a substance that would create a film and restore their atmosphere. And that mineral was gold. If you remember the astronauts and the NASA astronauts, they would have this gold sprayed on their visors because it was a great way to absorb the RV rays that come from the sun, direct response for the sun. All right, are we together? Now, this is a theory now, but it's a theory I heavily believe in. I'm still researching, and I haven't found anything to help me doubt it. So these people came, they were 10 feet tall. Now, the Bible in Genesis chapter 4 talks about there were these giant people. Yes, the Bible says, search the word in the Bible, and you'll see that they were there. And in that Bible saying, it says, the sons of God slept with the daughters of men. And so what these people did was they had a very high intelligence. They took the DNA of their males and mixed it with a Neanderthal female, and they grafted us to work in this planet to help develop and search for gold and mine gold. They gave us 1/10 of their intelligence, and they gave us a smaller statue. They always made us have you heard the term knee high? Yeah, knee high. If we were always knee high to them. So, and we were their slaves and we were their servants. And we went around and did all their bidding and looked for gold as we had been trained to do by them. So when you say there was no way we could build the pyramids, if you took a giant, he could make the pyramids. You see, he could lift those boulders where it would take 15 of us or 10, 15 of us, 5 or 6 of them could lift boulders and could saw them into place. There are many places where they have created obelisks. They talk about obelisks that were broken and cracked and just left, and nobody knows how they got there. And so these are saying the monuments that we have. Now you go into Egypt and you look at the monuments, you're going to see two things. First of all, you're going to see these monuments and buildings that are remaining. They all have ceilings that are way above 15 feet high. Many of them have doorways that are also big. And the second thing you'll see when you look at the photos of these ruins is that they could accommodate large, giant people, and they were a testament to them. And then the other thing you'll find a statue of a large, giant person, and then at the foot of that person you'll find like a little small person. Now you tell me why that person is there. Who make a statue of a giant and make themselves like a little bitty baby knee high to them? The Egyptians think Arabs. They just came 600 years ago or 700 years ago to Egypt and took it over. So they just want tourist money. They weren't the ones that built it. Imagine you got an Arab tour guide walking around showing the pyramids, telling everybody that we built this, we did that, and the Arabs ain't did that. You see? That's like going to Israel and they tell you this is the Wailing Wall and Jesus walked right here. Okay. That's this. I'm a realist. So I wanted to put that out there that we were grafted people. That's why we don't get along. That's why we're not accustomed to this. We're the only animals on the planet that gotta have shirts and clothes. We can't survive without clothes and shoes. It is because from the beginning, we these things had to be given to us, and we were taught that way. We can't run around naked in Africa or even in the United States. We run around New York for 1 year naked. So that's why I say that we are not a product of this country. This is my research. And I'm saying that when you look at this, there's a lot of information that talks about this. So let your mind run through what I have just told you. Go look at the pictures of Egypt and then see where they show you small people. And then you tell me the reason why somebody built a large statue of themselves and then make a statue of a small person standing between their legs. They're all over Egypt. And don't forget that the obelisk is, the George Washington Monument is a copy of the obelisks that are found in Egypt. Oh yeah, I did a lot of research in Egypt back in the day. I'm rusty now, but if they can lie to us about the evolution of man, saying we came from monkeys, the monkeys developed into humans, but you see that what they don't tell you is that between the first monkey and the human, there's no evidence of any other those other people that exist. They're looking for that. They never found it to this day. And then since we evolved from monkeys, how come the monkeys didn't evolve? Why are monkeys still here if we evolved from monkeys? You get what I'm saying? So that's an evolution to just throw us off the track. And that's what they do with propaganda. They give us things that don't make no sense, and then we throw us off the track. And then people come into Africa today and they see all these modern cities. They see all of the progress that the Africans make, and they feel like, what? Because you've been banking on not Fox News and all of that, CNN and all that to educate you. Use that time. Instead of watching CNN, change that shit off and go to YouTube and investigate things like what I'm talking about. Now you might start off talking about Egypt. You go look at the pictures of Egypt, you find them little small people, and then you start wondering, and then you search something else that take you on a whole nother journey. Now that can educate you, because there's nothing you can teach on the planet for Black presence. At the end of the day, it got to take you to Africa. No matter what mathematics is going to swoop, it's going to take you to Africa. Martial arts, whoop, it's going to take you to Africa. You see? Physics, whoop, it's going to take you to Africa. Get me what I'm saying? Medicine, whoop, you're going to go to Africa and you're going to see all of the medical instruments carved on the walls of the pyramids. Scalpels, all those other things are already there thousands of years ago. This is not new to the United States. Didn't make those things. And this is what, this is what we come to realize, that the white man used that information and then built his nation, and then put the obelisk in as the symbol of the United States. Washington Monument is the symbol. They took all that information and stole it, reused it, and then came and stole you to help them develop it, and then told you wasn't shit and kept you in bondage for 400 years. Kept you asleep. Now when you wake up and you realize that he didn't even create those things, you'd be like, are you still gonna be a house Negro? Oh, I can't get no place better than this white man. The way he treat me, I'm too good. No, this is the best place for me. I'm gonna be right here. I'm gonna be right here under his thing. Because when he jump off and throw all them nuclear bombs, the United States gonna be the only place that's safe. Fool, do you know China and Russia got nuclear bombs too? So if we spin one nuclear bomb in the wrong direction, you done. In the United States, and you done anyway, because the economy has been going to nowhere. You're the last one they serve at the dinner table. I'm sorry, Mr. Black Man. All we got left is the guts and chitlins. You like, okay. And you eat that crap. That's what you did. It's time now for us to stop dealing with that. Oh, my chat line. Okay, let me finish up. Dollar Bill, how are you, man? Still down with you, brother. Thank you. Invaders. Yeah, Lance. But when you come to Africa, you don't have this problem. You don't have this problem, and your kids won't have this problem. I want you guys to investigate into that. Not because of, okay, I got to prove I'm wrong. It's okay if you prove me wrong, but you won't. But it's okay. But I want you to get your mind and start investigating into things instead of accepting it. You don't know how much you have been accepted, how much your subconscious mind has been accepting these things. Now go research this. And that'll work. That'll open your subconscious mind up to something like, hey, some things don't make sense. We've been accepting what they tell us for too long, and that's why we got so many house Negroes. You ain't got to play by you ain't got to play fair. You can be the house. You can be the field Negro undercover, 007 field Negro. You know what I mean? Hi, my name is James Field Negro. Like that. There was a time okay. Don't let me say that. But you can keep you can get your African name and then not tell nobody until the time is right. Then you unbutton your shirt, me, mom, and I'm Juma Kamau. You say, Just like on the movie Color Purple, and the girl said, "My name is Agnes. My name is not Agnes." You know, she changed her name. She became, you know, and that's one of the most important things is to get that slave name out your mind, because all of that is from back here. How you gonna be a field Negro and you gonna try to change, become an African, and then you're gonna have an African American name? People just, you know, it don't make no sense. So yeah, get that African name. You ain't got to tell nobody. Break out. Hmm? And stop thinking of yourself as an American. You must see yourself as, if you feel Negro, as long as you're in America, you're a Negro. Once you're in Africa, you're an African. So if you start acting like an African in America today, it'll expedite your exodus out of the country. And that's what I'm saying to you. I want to make this a long video. I just want to tell you guys again, I want to thank you guys in the chat room. Let's try this. Now, some people said they had trouble finding this symbol when they go to Western Union. They don't see the M-Pesa symbol, but then others are okay. During Track tested it again today. He sent in the super chat again. Once again, thank you. And once again, John Lewis and Helios Ajiba. I was hoping to see him on the chat line today. I didn't see him. But okay, you guys are talking. So I want to thank you guys again for those super chats. And the rest of you guys out there, I'm not interested in having 1 million people on my channel. I just want to talk to field Negroes and people that's trying to get out. And then I give you the best advice and then support you when you get here. I'm going to support you like all the money and then take it and put you in a house. No, you wouldn't want that either. I know black people that are field Negroes, they want to make it on their own. And I'm telling you, it is easy to do it here when you're ready. And so I was on another show and they were telling me I have a chip on my shoulder with the United States. I've definitely got a problem with the United States. And shouldn't I have a chip on my shoulder? When you do enough research on the United States, you're going to see the same, you're going to have the same chip. Trust me. But mine is not a matter of, I want everybody, America did Amin Ra wrong, so now he's going to try to get all the blacks to leave America. No. This is just makes common sense. You know what I'm saying? I'm a realist. I don't know. I know that not even 1% of all blacks are going to move to Africa. Okay? And like I said, I'm not interested in getting big numbers. I'm just saying those few of us, I want to hold the hand with like 4 or 5 of us here in Africa. And we laugh and joke and eat Yom Choma together and say, whew, we made it. You know? Because America going to fall. She done already fell once and stumbled. She going to fall and you guys going to be there and can't get out. Yeah, get you a cash app. We already went through that dollar bill. You late now. I'm saying John Lewis, Doreen Tate, and Helios Ajiba had no problem. Okay? The thing about Patreon is that they ask for all kind of details that I'm not ready to give at this time, considering the information that I'm putting out. So when you do this, it's instant. I don't have to wait 3 days to get the money. I can talk to you on the next day or even on the same show and say, look, thank you for the super chat, African super chat. So that's why we're doing this. I talked about that on the other show. I don't want to really talk about the issue of why we don't use Patreon and those things like that. You have to have a connection with the United States in order to use those services. And they use those connections to get at you. So this is why I'm doing it like this. Yeah, okay, if you tried, just do one more time. Make sure you go click, I think debit card, online payment. Doreen Tate was talking about it. Mobile wallet, then there's a place for M-Pesa. Once you sing, make sure you spell the name correctly. Take a screenshot. Everybody 1, 2, 3 screen. Oh, you guys are on, most of you are on phone, so you can't do screenshot. But anyway, that's it for today. And thank you guys for this one. And we're going to meet again in a couple of days. And remember, you can get in the comment section and we talk more about this. So until the next time we meet, support the channel, like and subscribe. I forgot to say that again. And as always, like and subscribe on this video. And then we meet again the next time. This is Amara. Peace.